just give you a little quick background. Like I said, working in construction. That was my background. I didn't like it. It was hot. I was tired of working in construction, and I came from the shipyard. As to be advanced, it's like kind of like working in an oven. Basically, that's how hot it gets in there. So I'm glad y'all came out tonight. Just want to share some things with you. First, we got to go over the ground rules. First, we need you to turn off all your cell phones if you could. That way, everything goes smoothly. And then save all your questions to the end, if you would, please. That way we can, get through it pretty quickly, and then we can answer each question individually. Okay? And then for bathrooms, we got a bathroom over there to your left, and a bathroom also in the back to your left. And if you have to leave for any reason, we got an exit straight behind you, and you got an exit over here to your right. So in case any emergencies, we're not going to have any, hopefully. All right. So welcome to our office. Right? We have orange walls, if you haven't noticed. Tonight is about time and financial freedom. Now, how many of us want more time? Yeah, all of us, right? And how many of us want more money to do the things we want with our time? Yeah, all of us, right? Exactly. So what we want to do is share with you some principles and concepts that are time-tested but are very unique to our business alone. So that what makes us very unique. After this presentation, you'll see that Primerica really does care about families, and also that we care what's doing what's right. Basically, our founder instilled those principles into us to do what's right 100% of the time, whether we get paid or not. Okay? And also, we want to bring you some value. If you apply these concepts to your own life, it'll actually help you achieve financial success. Now, our name is Primerica, if you haven't noticed. We've been in business since 1977, so we've been around for almost 40 years now. And we're listed on the New York Stock Exchange, so you can buy our stock just like you buy Coca-Cola stock and Walmart stock. And we're the largest independent financial services marketing company in North America. So that's a big deal. And most of you here heard of Fidelity, correct?
Yeah.
Well, Fidelity right here is one of our largest purchasers of our stock. Okay, so would you agree that Fidelity did some great research before they dropped $250 million on our stock? Yeah, a little more than my Uncle George, I would imagine. And we got an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau as well. Now, this is a very big deal right here. Forbes actually ranked us in April 2015 as America's 50, or in the top 50 America's most trustworthy financial services companies. Now, let me ask you, if you wanted someone to help you with your finances, right, would you want them to be on that list?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So we're very proud of that. Oh, but the names that you heard of are not on there, like State Farm, Allstate, all those other names, they're not on that list. So here's the financial troubles we're going through today. The average American household has at least one credit card that has $15,000 worth of debt. Now, I know you're saying, $15,000, who in the world would have it, $15,000 worth of credit card debt? And the person beside you saying, I wish I only had $15,000 credit card debt. Right. So it's large numbers. So 95 million U.S. adults have no life insurance whatsoever. Right? So 7 out of 10 families you sit down with don't have no coverage to protect their families. And then half of all workers are are not confident about their retirement. That's not a good thing if you don't see your future, right? And then roughly 3/4 of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. We call that week to week. Some people call it week to weeker, right? You get on the hamster wheel, you run, and you don't get nowhere. So we help people get off that hamster wheel so they can reach a financial destination. Now, out of 100 people, how many of you have a strong desire to reach financial independence?
All of them.
All of them, right? All of them. But how many actually reach it by the time they reach the age of 65? 50? Yeah, kind of what I thought too. Check this out. 66% are dependent on the government, like Social Security, stuff like that. And 66% also are still working. You seen Grandma at Walmart? Yeah. She works at the movie theater too. I seen her there last week. 16% are passed away. 14% are at the poverty level or below. And then 4% are actually financially independent. Now, why do you think that is? We live in the most opportune country in the world, but yet only 4% of us truly make it. Why do you think that is? Don't know.
Weighted to the top 1%.
What's that?
The economical scale is weighted to the top 1%.
Yeah, well, could be, right? So, well, we got thousands of financial companies on every corner, right? Advertising on TV, banks everywhere. Aren't they helping us become financially independent? Do you think they're helping us become financially independent? No, absolutely not. All right, so this is one of my favorite numbers right here, $34 billion. Now, that represents the overdraft fees that the banks charged in 2014 alone. Now, does it make sense to go ahead and charge you an extra $25 on top of the fee you couldn't pay in the first place? No, it doesn't. Now, Main Street families' incomes have been challenging, right? In 2000, the middle household income was $57,000. By the time we got to 2014, it dropped all the way down to $52,000. That's a decrease of 10%. 10% decrease. But what happens to the price of goods that we buy? They're going up. So if incomes are going down, price of goods are going up, what are the chances of middle class families making it? It's not going to happen. So take a look at these prices. This is just from 4 years right here. Gallon of milk 113%, pound of butter 166% it went up. Now, look at that. Pound of potatoes up 300%. Anybody here drink coffee? Yeah. If you just quit drinking coffee, you'll be a millionaire next week. Most of the prices look like this, right? You got $700 billion in credit card debt. You got $8 trillion in mortgages, $1 trillion in auto loans, and then student loans, another $1 trillion. So if you just add these three up right here for consumer debt, that's $3 trillion. $3 trillion in consumer debt. Now that's just our debt. That's not the government's debt. That's me and your debt, right? That's crazy. Now, we believe we are the answer, okay? And that's because of our mission statement right here. We help families earn more income, become properly protected, debt-free, and financially independent. And we do that in a number of numerous different ways, okay? We have the largest life insurance sales force in North America. So we got over 110,000 licensed agents, and we help them save costs on life insurance and also other insurances. Then we help them get financial solutions where they become debt-free, okay? And then we take that money that they save, and we help them invest it where they can reach their retirement goal. Because we got the largest mutual funds licensed sales force in the United States. All right. Now, what were most people talking about money growing up? Nothing, right? You got the same education I got. So, most people don't plan to fail; they just fail to plan, right? So the problem is a lot of financial institutions want to give you a product, not necessarily a service, right? They just want to take this, take that, take that. So you end up looking like this. You got credit cards going over here, you got mortgages in this company, you got life insurance in this company, bank accounts over here, installment loans over here, and another savings account. So you got money flying out in all these different directions. What are the chances of you making it to a financial destination with all your money flying in different directions like that? It's not going to happen. Now, would you at least agree with me that you need a coach to win a Pee Wee football game? Can you imagine little kids just running around without a coach or a referee? No. So your finances is the same way. You need to have a destination in mind and a coach to help get you there. So we provide the solution. It's called the F&A, a financial needs analysis. And it comes back like a 4 to 6 page report. It's different for everybody. You know, everybody's numbers are different. And what it is a financial GPS. So basically, if I wanted to have a party at my house tomorrow, what would be the first question you would ask me?
Who's coming?
Where do I live, right? Where do I live, right? So you don't just get in the car and just drive around aimlessly and then you don't know where the party is, right? Exactly. So your finances is the same way. Now, it looks like this. First, we got to find out what your financial independence number is. Well, this person right here, you want to retire, and he wants to retire in 30 years with $30,000 a year coming in today's dollars, right? So 30 years from now, after adjusted for inflation, $73,000 spends like $30,000 in $73,000 in the future. 30 years from now, spends like $30,000 today. All right, almost confused myself. So this person needs $1 million, okay? Now, most people say, why he needs $1 million? Well, if he just had a reasonable rate of return, say 7%, it'll pay him $70,000 a year in passive income. Well, $70,000 a year, whether he gets out of bed or not, basically. Right? So he can live off that for the rest of his life. Now, this is the rule of 72. It's also called the banker's rule, okay? When I found this out, I was mad. Very mad. So what it is like you take 72 and you divide it by your interest rate, and it tells you how long it takes your money to double in the interest account, right? So 72 is a constant, okay? So everybody here has a savings account at the bank, correct? Yeah. So the national average for savings accounts is around 0.03%, which means you take 72 divided by 0.03%, your money will double in 2,400 years. That sound exciting? No, not at all. So let's just say you had 3%, okay? Take 72 divided by 3, then you end up with 24. So let's say you started at 20 years old and you had $10,000. And 24 years later, it turns to $20,000. By the time you're 68 years old, you got $40,000. Are you excited? No. No, not at all. So let's double your interest rate. Let's see what happens. Now you take 72 divided by 6. Now your money doubles every 12 years. And by the end of the time you get to 68 years old, you got $160,000. Are you excited about retirement now? No, you probably retire for a week and then you got to go back and get a job. Now look, what happens if I double your interest rate one more time?
$6 years?
$500,000? I like your enthusiasm, bro. Look, $2.5 million. Right? So 72 divided by 12, now your money doubles every 6 years. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Right? But what I want you to notice is, the only difference is, I mean, the money was the same, in the same length of time. But the only difference is where you placed your money, right? Right here is at a bank or an institution. Right here is at a bank or an institution. Here is you investing on your own in the economy. That way you can get those rate of returns. So what do you think of the banks are doing with your money?
Investing it in the economy.
Loaning out and investing in the economy. That's right. They taking your money from over here and they putting it in the economy themselves. When they have $2.5 million, they'd be glad to give you $40,000. So we're the only company that I know of that actually teach you to take your money out of the banks and put it in professional money management. That way you can have that money. Okay? Now, how do you win a game if you don't know the rules?
No.
You can't, right? And do you think that the banks or insurance companies have any incentive to teach you this rule at all?
No.
No. No, they really want to teach you how to pay off all this interest so you don't owe us any more money.
Right.
Absolutely not. So who would benefit from learning this rule?
Everyone.
Everyone, absolutely. Now, should we learn this rule in school as well?
Yes.
Absolutely. I don't think you should be able to graduate high school without getting up in front of your peers and actually explaining the rule of 72. Just that simple. Now, without introducing us to your family and friends, what are the chances of them actually knowing this rule? They're not going to, right? The chances are when you walked through the door, you didn't know this rule. But let me ask you this question. Could $2.5 million change your family's life?
Yeah.
It absolutely can. Now, let's talk about there's two types of cancers out there. There's a physical cancer, which is very tragic. 1 out of 4 Americans will catch cancer in their lifetime, so they say. And then there's the financial cancer, and that's what we consider debt, okay? Both of them are very tragic. We have a friend actually in Pennsylvania watching us, hey Jeff, and his friend actually committed suicide. In the note, he was talking about his debt, is why he did it. So it's very tragic. This is real clients of ours, and they were paying $2,700 just to service their debt. Most of us don't make $2,700 a month, let alone to service our debt, right? So we had helped them with a debt solution program we call debt stacking. We told them if you take all that money from the retail card, pay off the credit card with it, take the money from the credit card, pay off the car loan, take it from the car loan, pay off the other credit card, then take the last credit card and put all that money towards the mortgage. So what I want you to notice, we didn't ask them to pay any more money, okay? So if they would have stuck with their plan, it would have been 23 years to pay off all that debt, and they would have paid $214,000 in interest. That's 2 houses. It's ridiculous. So how fast you think you would have paid it off doing our plan? 10 years? 12 years? We actually did it in 8 years, right? So we did it 15 years sooner, and we saved them $130,000 in interest. So we saved them at least 1 house. Right? That's good. But the best thing happens next. We actually told them to take their money that you were saving now, right? And if you invested at a reasonable rate of return, say 9%, by the time they turn 65, they got $2 million. Now, if you had $2 million saved up for retirement and investments, and your house paid off and you're debt free, could you retire?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's how it's supposed to work. Rhetorical question. So let's talk about life insurance, okay? It's a very important part of your financial plan. All right, so there's 3 types of life insurance out there. One is called group life insurance. You usually get it through your job or your employer, and you probably pay little or nothing for it, but it's very undependable, right? If you lose your job, you lose it. They can raise and lower your coverage without telling you, and also if you die, they don't even have to pay it because you have no legal rights. That doesn't sound like a good plan for your family. So then there's other 2 types. There's term life insurance, which is protection only, okay, just like your car insurance. And then there's also cash value life insurance. And they go by names of Global, Whole Life, Gerber, Universal Variable. You probably heard some of those names. And that's when you got a protection plan and savings bundled into one, okay? Now, these are real clients of ours. We sat down with, you don't know John and Mary, but we changed the name to protect their innocence, okay? They were married, age 30, and they had 2 kids. They were paying $205 a month for $150,000 worth of coverage. And then that policy, that cash value policy, in the illustration it says they would have $75,000 by the time they turn 65 in the savings program. All right? So let's see how good of a plan that really is. So we paying $205 a month, okay? Times that by 12, you get $2,460. You can get a calculator follow with me if you want to. And then they pay that up to 65 years, so that's 35 years. That's $86,100. Now, I ain't got a degree in math or anything like that, but if I paid $86,100 into a savings plan and I only got $75,000, does that sound like a good savings plan? Absolutely not. So we do a financial needs analysis for all of our clients, and we found out they're underinsured. So we said you need $400,000 worth of life insurance each. Now, if I came to your house and told you you need $400,000 worth of life insurance, what would you think of the cost? Yeah, most people think it goes up. But we actually got them term life insurance for $79 a month. Yeah. Crazy, right? Now, the best part always happens next. We saved them $126 out of this policy. And we told them if you invest that on your own, at a reasonable rate of return, say 9%, you'll have $370,000. Yeah, pretty good, right? Now, which plan would you choose? The big one. Absolutely right. Now, this is where the good learning comes in, though. It's not a trick question, okay? Now, if John passed away, who receives the $150,000?
Mary.
Mary, that's right, she'll receive it. If John passed away, who receives the $75,000 savings?
John.
If John passed away,
Oh, Mary.
Mary, that's what I thought too, but it actually goes right back to the company. Now, if that happened to you, how would you feel? Yeah, right, that's right. We had one lady that actually came here, she said she would actually come back to life and get them. Oh. Yeah, so now let's go over to the term side, okay? And someone, if John passed away right here, how much, who received the $400,000? Mary, that's right, she received it. If John passed away, who receives the $307,000 from investment? Mary, that's right, because that's their own separate plan, okay? Now, there's 864 life insurance companies out there. All of them sell cash value life insurance, except for us, okay? We believe it's such a ripoff, we don't even offer it to our clients. So we do what's right for the people 100% of the time. Rhetorical question, yeah. Now, this is how we see life working in a nutshell, okay? In the earlier years, you may need a lot of coverage because you got young children, high debt, and a house mortgage. So the loss of your income will be very devastating. But your investments and savings haven't grown yet. But as your savings and investments do grow, you come to what we call the theory of decreasing responsibility. Now your children are grown, your debt is lowered, your mortgage is paid off. Now your income is coming from your investments. So your life insurance can go down and ultimately go away. Now, what life insurance company do you know of that actually helps you get out of the products they provide you? Only us, because we do what's right for people 100% of the time. Okay? Now, another question I want to ask you. If you had let's say $2 million in investments, do you need $300,000 worth of life insurance? No. So get rid of it. All right? So now, thank you all for your time. I'd like to invite the regional vice president of this office. He's my mentor and my coach. He makes about $20,000 a month. And he's 24 years in the military, so he's very strict.
All right, well, welcome everybody. As he said, my name is Dan Roos, and we just want to re-welcome you to our office. And yes, I love orange. Since this is my office, I can paint the walls any color I want. I think that's cool. So, just a quick background on me. I did spend 24 years in the military, and you know, the principles that Shawn just showed you, nobody knows these things. And I actually didn't know these things until I sat in a meeting just like you are. And when they showed these things to me, I was a little offended because I was already 40, and I didn't know this stuff. A lot of you are a lot younger than me sitting in here, and if you use the principles that Shawn just showed you and some of the things I'm about to teach you, you could change your life financially just like that. And so when I was getting out of the military, the one thing I knew is I never wanted to have a job again. And that's because I worked really, really hard like most of you do, but I never felt like I got paid what I was worth. And I also was sick of people telling me what to do. Can anybody relate?
Yes.
And so as I was getting out of the military, I was looking for something where I could actually be my own boss and actually get paid what I was worth, but then call my own shots and have some time and financial freedom that Shawn was talking about. And so a friend of mine introduced me to this company, very much like some of the people have introduced you to this company. And when I saw it, the principles that they work with were amazing, but what I'm about to show you really just blew me away. And so let me ask you this. What were you all taught about business when you were growing up?
Nothing.
Yeah, it's hard, risky. If you were taught anything, it was negative, right? Costs too much. You know, nobody we know does it. All the businesses fail and things like that. But so we're pretty much taught nothing. But let's talk about getting a good job, because that's what everybody teaches today, right? Go to school, get good grades, and what? Yeah. Well, let's talk about those good jobs. Nearly half of all working Americans with college degrees are in jobs they're overqualified for. I met a guy who has a $40,000 worth of college loan debt because he's got a business degree from Hampton, Sydney. He fries chicken at Zaxby's. Nothing wrong with frying chicken at Zaxby's. I just don't think you need a $40,000 business degree from Hampton, Sydney to do it. Twice as many college grads are in minimum wage jobs, and the actual unemployment rate for kids that are graduating from college today is double the national average. 60 to 80% of people that are graduating from college this year will not get jobs in their field. And if you've got a job, or you've had a job for the last 10 years, if you've had a raise every single year for the last 10 years of at least 3% or more, raise your hand. And did you?
Yeah, but I switched careers.
So that's amazing, but 1 out of 50. How's that working out for everybody? So our company, Primerica, actually represents over 100 financial services organizations. And so what we do is we have all of these companies that we represent. The companies you see over here on the left-hand side protect the money. The companies you see on the right-hand side grow your money. So we work a lot like Amazon. Anybody here not heard of Amazon? Who bought something from Amazon today? I did. Well, what happens is Amazon doesn't make anything. But all of the companies come to them and they say, hey, we want you to provide your customers with we want you to provide our products to your clients. That's what they say to Amazon. And because Amazon has this massive distribution system, they can sell everything very cost effectively. Well, Primerica has the largest financial distribution network in North America. So these companies and more come to our headquarters in Atlanta, and they say, we want you to provide our products to your customers. And because we're the largest, we can actually provide that very cost effectively. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, the companies that you've heard of, Wells Fargo, Merrill Lynch, Smith Barney, they love to brag about the fact that they've been here for 100 years. But what we think is, you've been here for 100 years, but only 4 out of 100 people are being financially independent. Well, that's insane to us. We don't think they're doing a good job. So what we do is we take all of their resources, all their skills, talents, and abilities that they've been given to the wealthy for the last 100 years, and we bring it down to middle-income America. People that are making $25,000 to $150,000 a year, we teach these principles and build plans for them so they can actually retire wealthy. And we're the only company that does it in the middle-income market. It's pretty amazing. So currently, we actually have been around for almost 40 years. We have over 100,000 licensed agents, and we only have a 2% market share. Our goal is to get a 10% market share. Well, what that means is, for every 100 houses I drive by going home tonight, I can help 98 of those families. We do not have a problem finding clients. That is not our issue. Our issue is that we don't have enough people working with us that are licensed and trained to go help all of those families. Just as an example, I have 4 appointments tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Just so you know, I can't see all 4 by myself. That's why I need help. So the challenge that we have is that we're in about 1,000 family homes every night across the nation. And so we help 365,000 families a year roughly. But over a course of 5 years, that's 1.75 million families. But the middle-income market grew by 2 million families over the last 5 years. So our market's getting bigger, not getting smaller. And so let's talk about the 4 ways to earn income. Now, this gentleman, Robert Kiyosaki, wrote a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you've never read it, this book over here, I highly recommend you get it. You can actually get it for free at the library, or you can get it off of Amazon for 1 penny. Now, in this book, he talks about the difference between what the wealthy teach their children and what the poor teach their children. It is completely different. And so I highly recommend you get that book. That will help. This is the most published finance book in the world, and it's amazing. But the second book he wrote is called the Cashflow Quadrant. And I'm actually going to give you the Cliff Note version of the Cashflow Quadrant so you can actually tell people that you read that book when I get done teaching you this. The thing that's very interesting here is he did a bunch of research to find out how people build their quality of life and how they make their money. And he found out they do it in 4 ways. Number 1, they're employees. They got jobs. He looks real happy, doesn't he? They're self-employed. Well, he looks like he's got a migraine. They're business owners. Look at a big smile on his face. And then investors. Another big smile. So let's talk about this. Now, as an employee, you're paid by the position, not by the person. And so if you're a teacher, and I'm a teacher, and we've been teaching for 10 years, and you're like 10 times better than me, how much are we getting paid? The same. So you come in early, you stay late, you got great lesson plans, you help all the kids. I don't even like the kids. We get paid the same amount. How does that make you feel?
Terrible.
How about when I get a raise ahead of you?
Angry.
So think about your job. Who determines how much money you get paid? Yeah, so not you. Who determines when you get a raise? Not you. Who determines when you get a promotion? Not you. Who determines when you get to go on vacation? And we like to hit it. We're like, well, I get to ask. Yeah, but they can say no. Have you ever been called in on a day off? She told me she was called in. She's got a day off on Friday. And she just told me earlier that she got called into work on Friday. So I'm like, now, I guess my ultimate question to you guys is there such, who determines if you can even come to work tomorrow? So is there any such thing as a good, secure job? I don't think so. You have zero control. You're trading time for money. You know what most people say? They say this, hey, I get paid $10 an hour. No, you don't. You sell an hour of your life for $10. Man, when somebody told me that, I was just like, whoa. And so here's the way that it works. All businesses are in business to make money. So if you don't own a business, you work for somebody that does. And the business runs an income statement. And it says revenues minus expenses equal profits. And the business is in business to make profits and make money. There's two ways to do that. They can increase their revenue, or they can decrease their expenses, or maybe a combination of both. But guess what the largest expense for any company is? Employees. Isn't it interesting that we tell people to go to school for 12 and 16 years to be put in a system where you're a liability? Right? Because if you make more money, the business makes less. And the business is in business to make more. So they're diametrically opposed. What's the fastest way for any business to increase their profits? Fire. My income just poof, went right up. Isn't that special? Now, some people get fed up with that, so they decide I'm going to be self-employed. So you can be a doctor, a dentist, a lawyer, a hairstylist, any of these things. Now, as a self-employed person, you have the capacity to make a lot more money. Because if you're really good, like if you and I are both lawyers, and you're really good at what you do, could you charge more?
Yes.
Yes. And would they pay it? Yes, they would. Because if you come to me, you're going to jail. If you come to her, she's going to get you out of jail. You'll gladly pay her 10 times more. The challenge with being self-employed is you get money, you get paid per task, right? As a dentist, right? If I'm a dentist and I pull your tooth, I get paid some money. If I pull all your teeth, I get paid more money. Be very careful when you go to the dentist. But as a self-employed person, there's two drawbacks. One, you max out or you burn out. Right? Because there's only so many hours in a day you can work. And there's only so many days in a week. But if you work 100 hours a week, how many weeks can you do that before you pass out? You can't do that forever. Now, if you go on vacation for 3 weeks as a self-employed person, how much do you get paid? Zero. But if you get sick and you're in the hospital for a month, what happens to your family? You better have a good backup plan. So the third way to get paid is by being a business owner. Now, a business owner owns a system. They leverage other people's time. And everybody, Robert Kiyosaki writing this book said, everybody's looking for the same thing, time and financial freedom, but what's the most important? Time. Why? Because we can always make more money. Right? I could go cut grass, I could babysit, I could wash cars, but I can never get my time back. Right? The hour that you spend with us tonight, you're never going to get this hour back. So my job, and Shawn's job, is to provide you with as much value as we possibly can so that when you walk out of here, you say, man, that was worth my time. Because if you walk out of here saying that was a waste of my time, I would feel very bad. And so we work very hard to give you as much great information as we possibly can. So here's the thing. Financial independence and retirement is not an age. It's an amount. Right? If you had $10 million right now, could you retire?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm like 19.
But you could, if you had $10 million, you couldn't retire?
Not without investment, and then I wouldn't have any money to spend now. Because I would invest it all immediately and continue working until I'm like 40 or 50 and then have like $100 million.
Well, that would be sweet. So if you had $100 million today, could you retire?
Absolutely.
Okay. So if you had $100 million, if you had $1 billion, let's go for it. If you had $1 billion today, could you retire?
Probably.
But you're not 65 years old.
No, I am not.
What if you're 65 years old and you're broke? Can you retire?
No.
No. So retirement's not an age, it's an amount. For him, it's $100 million. For some of you it might be less, some of you it might be more. It's all good, but it's an amount, but at least he knows his, right? That's good. So to be retired, financial independence, the best definition I've ever heard is you have to have enough passive income coming into your household that it pays all your living expenses. And so that begs the question, what is passive income? Well, if you don't know, there's two types of income out there. The first one is active, right? That's the one that you probably know best. Right? You work and work and work and work and you get a small paycheck. And then you work and work and work and work and you get a small paycheck. That's active income. Passive income is all the money that you make during the course of a month when you're not working. And how much does the average American make when they're not at work? Well, if you make zero in passive income, and you have to have enough passive income that pays all your living expenses to be financially independent, when will you become financially independent? So you have to figure out how to build a passive income. Well, owning a business is one of the ways. And I use this example. McDonald's. Anybody here not heard of McDonald's? Excellent. It's 100% every time. Okay, so let's say you own a McDonald's. You own a McDonald's. So if you own a McDonald's, what you would do is you'd hire somebody like me to manage it. He'd pay me $30,000 or $40,000 a year. We'd hire a bunch of high school kids. We'd pay them minimum wage. They'd burn the burgers and fry the fries. You would not have to come into the McDonald's, and you'd make $15,000 to $20,000 a month without doing anything. Now, if you made $15,000 a month without working, could you pay your bills? Yes. Now, here's the challenge with owning a business. With every business, is there's turnover, right? People are going to quit. You're going to have to fire some. Somebody might die. So you have to recruit, hire, and train people every single month. And when I talk about recruiting, some people go, ooh, that's weird, recruiting. But you know, everybody recruits. Churches recruit. Colleges recruit. Jobs recruit. Businesses recruit. The army recruits. Everybody recruits. As a matter of fact, every one of you recruit. Who here's married? Best recruiting job you ever did, to convince somebody else to spend the rest of their life with you. So you recruited, they recruited, right? And if you got a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a husband and wife and you want tonight, hey, right, he wants to go eat steak, you want to go eat tofu, wherever you go to eat, you were the recruiter. You want to go see a movie? Look, I know Chris, he wants to go see Zootopia. Now, Luke, he wants to go see, like, Star Trek. And they find it out pretty soon. They're both going to see Zootopia. That's because Chris is a better recruiter. So we don't call it recruiting, but that's what we do it all the time. Now, for your McDonald's, between you and I, we have to recruit, hire, and train 12 people every single month, or your McDonald's goes out of business in 6 months. Does that make sense? And so now, who gets paid more, the recruiter or the recruitee? The recruiter. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Now, with a business, if you own this business, if you went on vacation for 3 weeks, would you still get paid?
Yes.
Interesting. What could you do?
What could I do? With the passive income?
Yeah, I mean, if you're making $20,000 a month without working, what could you do?
I could go Paris, maybe.
Maybe you could do whatever you wanted.
Yes.
Yeah. You hear this? Paris, Bahamas, go on a cruise?
Yes.
Yeah. Isn't that nice? I love this. Because I feel like there's something else I should say.
Build more businesses?
Who should build more businesses? Yes, I agree with that. Now, there's something else I think I'm supposed to say here, but I can't remember.
If they're sick.
Yeah, well, if they're sick, they're covered. The fourth way to make money is by being an investor. And this is what Robert Kiyosaki calls the dream, right? Because money never sleeps. Money doesn't get sick, it doesn't get tired, it doesn't go on vacation, it doesn't hang out by the water cooler, it just works 24/7. So if you had $10 million and it was invested at 10% and you were making $100,000 or $1 million a year, which is like $185,000 a month without working, you probably could pay your bills.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would buy your job.
By the way, well, you could buy my job. I'd sell this for $10 million. I'd sell this for $10 million right now. I would have no problems with that. So, by the way, if anybody does have an extra $1 million or $10 million, see me after class because I can help you invest that. So that's the dream right there. Now, when you look at the 4 ways to make money, would you rather be on the left side or the right side?
Right side.
And if I shared this with 10 of your friends and family, what would they say?
Right side.
But where are most people? Yeah. And by the way, that's true. 95% of the people in America are on the left side. 5% are on the right side. Here's the challenge. 5% of all the wealth is on the left side. 95% of the wealth is on the right side. Now, if what you said is true, and I believe it, then most everybody wants to be on the right side, but they're really on the left side. Why don't they come over here? They're scared. They don't know how. Well, the nice thing is what our company does is we actually teach people how to go from the left side to the right side with almost no risk. It is amazing. So you guys have probably figured out that we work in financial services and we're highly regulated by the state and federal government. And so to do what we do, you actually have to be licensed through the state of Virginia to do this. And the licensing in Virginia costs $1,200. When I tell that to most people, they're like, man, I don't have $1,200. We get that. If you can qualify to work with us, if I can offer you an opportunity to work with our company actually pays for the licensing. When they told me that, I was like, are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Now, there are a couple of things that you're responsible for. You do have to pay for your own criminal background check. By the way, if you cannot pass a criminal background check, you cannot work here. That's not Dan Roos's rules. That's not even Primerica's rules. That's the state of Virginia's rules. And the background check costs $30. The other thing you have to do is open up your licensing files through the state of Virginia, and that costs $69. Now, I got enough kids. If I busted open all their piggy banks, I could find $99. Just saying. I didn't tell you guys. I have 12 children. I do have 12 children. I should probably put a picture up here. But I'm thinking, hey, It costs $1.1 million to buy your McDonald's, $1,200 to get started here. We pay for that too, $99 to start your own business. That's crazy good. The other thing is, $25 to run all the technology. I can run this entire business off this iPhone. I can run it off a tablet or a cell phone or a laptop. I don't have to have this office. Now I have this office because it's really cool. When's the last time you won an electric guitar at your job? That's just awesome. It's real too, it works, I play it. But the $25 a month actually gives you all your websites, so it tracks your entire business from the home office in Atlanta. You get live on-demand video training. You can study for all your licenses online on your own time. And then once you have a securities license, you have this Morningstar software. If you're not in Primerica, it costs $4,000 a year. Plus you get up to a 27% discount off your cell phone bill. My cell phone bill is so big that Primerica pays me to be in the company. Right, I pay $25 to have all that, then give me $43 for my cell phone bill. $17 of passive income right there. I'm on my way. So, this is what an F&A looks like. This is what we've been talking about all night. We do a financial needs analysis to help our clients, to help these families. And so I'm going to go through this with you so you guys can see how it actually works. Now, this is John. This is Bob and Mary. They're 33 and 35 years old, and they have 2 kids. And this is what happened. Before Primerica, we sat down with them. They had $100,000 worth of whole life insurance, and they were paying $250 a month for that. They had $40,000 saved at the bank. They're putting $100 a month away. When they're 65, they're going to have $150,000 for retirement. And they're paying $500 a month for their health insurance. And as bad as that sounds, it's even worse. Because 7 out of 10 Americans have no life insurance. So that's bad in itself. But if you're married with 2 kids, would you at least agree with me that $100,000 is not going to take care of your family for 20 years? And they're paying $250 a month, and that's way too much. $40,000. Most people don't even have $25,000 saved for retirement. And would you also agree with me that you are not retiring on $150 grand? Right. And $500 way too much to be paying for that. So we sat down with them, did a financial needs analysis, which is free. We give it to our clients for free because it's the right thing to do. We found out they needed $300,000 worth of life insurance. We got that for them for $100. So we just saved them $150. Tripled their life insurance coverage, saved them $150. If that's all we did for them, would they be happy? Yeah. Yes, they would. But then we taught them how to take their money out of the bank, roll it into professional money management, in this case a Roth IRA. Told them to increase their investments to $400 a month at a decent rate of return. When they're 65, they have $1.8 million. Then we lowered their health insurance costs by $250. What I want you to see here, though, is we didn't ask them to spend any more money. We took what they already had, moved it around in the bucket so it's used more effectively, and we tripled their life insurance coverage, gave them 10 times more in retirement, and put $150 in their pocket. Now, if you sat down with 10 families that look like that, and you could make them look like that, how many would do business with you? 11. Because they're going to tell their friends. Are you kidding me? If somebody sat down with me and took me from there to there, I would tell all my friends. Right? If you went and saw a good movie, would you tell somebody? Yep. If you ate at a great restaurant, would you tell somebody? If somebody just saved you all that money and put you on a path to be financially independent, would you tell somebody? Right. Yes, you would. Now, if you qualify to work with us and we can offer you an opportunity, and you got licensed and trained, you'd be an entry-level representative. And if you helped a family with this life insurance, you'd get $450. The investments are $770, the insurance is $288, so altogether you make about $1,500. Takes about 5 hours. Take a family from here to there, make $1,500 in 5 hours. That is the best part-time gig in town. The best part-time gig in town. Now, you do not have to tell me, but just think for a moment. How long does it take you to make $1,500 at your job? Now, if you're making $1,500 at your job in less than 5 hours, I recommend you stay there. But if you're not, you might want to think about this. Because if you continue to work with us, we're going to continue to get you promoted to be a trainer. Because we need more people to train more people. We're short. I got it? So now as a trainer, you make $840 for the life insurance, $925 for the investments, $384 for the health insurance. All together, you're making $2,100. Now that's more than some people make at their full-time job in a month. And you make that helping one family in 5 hours. Now the best part of our business is the best part of American business. And I'm going to pick on you because I've been picking on you. Okay. Just give me the first name of one of your friends and don't say Regina.
Don't say Regina? Okay. Tracy.
Tracy. So let's say that you're working in the business, you're a trainer, we're working together, and I come to you and I'm like, hey, who do you know that would be good in our business? You know, they like helping people, they're motivated, and you said Tracy. And I said, great. So I call Tracy. I recruit Tracy, I train Tracy, and I stick her in your business. And she goes out, helps a family go from here to there. Tracy makes $1,500 in one day. She's never made $1,500 in one day. She can't believe it. She calls you on the phone. Oh my God, you're not gonna believe this. I just made $1,500 in one day. And you're like, hey, I knew you could do it, champ. If you could help one family, you could help 1,000. And you and I just happened to be having lunch that day. You lean over to me and you're like, Dan, you're not gonna believe this. I just made $600 having lunch with you today. And that's because you make the difference between what you would have made had you done that contract and what Tracy made doing that contract. Now, if you made $600 every time Tracy helped a family, how many Tracys would you want on your team?
About 25.
How about all the Tracys?
All the Tracys.
All the Tracys. We would track them down.
Yes.
Yes. And so my goal is to help you in the next 12 to 24 months have 25 to 50 Tracys. They actually don't all have to be named Tracy. So that you can actually become an owner, which is what I am. And if you're an owner and you help a family with that life insurance, you make $1,300. You do the investments $1,300, you do the health insurance $500. Altogether, you make $3,200, same 5 hours. But now, if you help one family a week like that, you make $13,000. But if you have 50 or 85 licensed agents on your team like me, how hard would it be for you to make money? No, not hard at all. Now, this is the way that it works. If you're an entry-level person, we're talking about 8 or 10 hours a week. If you just help 5 families through these products, you're going to make $3,500. As a trainer, you're still part-time, working a little bit more. You help them with those products, you make $5,300. But if you have a Tracy on your team, and she helps somebody up here, you make $1,800. Now, $1,800 is not all the money in the world, but would an extra $1,800 a month help you?
Yes.
I think so. And then as a regional vice president or an owner, it takes 2, 3, maybe 4 years to get there. If your whole office helps 20 families, you make $20,000 to $25,000 a month. If it took you 4 years of hard work to get there, would it be worth it?
Yes.
Now, when I was sitting in your seat and they were explaining this to me, all I could think of was a real estate model. Now, our company has nothing to do with real estate, but the model was sticking in my head. And so, in real estate, you have a broker, real estate broker. And what they do is they go out and they recruit, hire, and train real estate agents. Now, the real estate broker gets a 6% broker fee, in this example, and then the real estate agents get a 3% broker fee. And so if the broker goes out and sells a $100,000 house, he gets paid $6,000. If the agent sells a house, they get paid $3,000. And the broker gets paid $3,000. Now, these agents go out and sell houses, and they're doing it, and they finally figure out, you know what? It takes me just as long to sell a house as it does the broker, but the broker gets paid twice as much. I want to be a broker. So the agent goes to the broker and says, hey, Mr. Broker, I want to be a broker. And what does the broker say?
You're fired.
We're not hiring brokers. We're only hiring agents. So go back to your cubicle. No, they don't say that. So the agent goes back, they're not happy, and they go out and sell a few more houses, and they go, well, you know, I'm just as smart as that broker. So they quit. Not only do they quit, they take this agent with them. They open up an office 2 blocks down the street, start taking your clients. Is that a good relationship?
No.
Now, the agent or the broker has got to go replace those agents that he lost, so he recruits and hires a couple more agents. Now, am I pouring all my guts and glory into you 100%, making it happen, or am I just teaching you enough to sell a house? And does that sound like a good relationship?
No.
I don't think so. So this is being a regional vice president. This will look somewhat familiar. So here I am. I'm a financial broker in this example, and I go out and I recruit and train financial agents. Now, in this example, this is using life insurance. I actually get 130% contract. We'll say it's 100, and the agent gets 50. So you go out and sell a life insurance policy to a family, you make $500. If I do it, I make $1,000. You do this for a little while, and you're like, hey, I make $500, he makes $1,000. I want to be an RVP. Comes, knocks on my door. Hey, Mr. RVP, I want to be an RVP. And what do I say? Man, I'm glad you're here. What took you so long? Let's put a game. Sit down. Let's put a game plan together. We need to get you to RVP right away because we need more RVPs. And so what happens is I work with everybody here to help you become me. Why? Because when everybody wins, when you win, everybody wins. And if my office just helps 12 clients in a month, I make $100 grand. But it's no different for you. Isn't that incredible? We get paid 7 different ways. I know there's 6 on the slide, but there's actually 7. All these incentives. When's the last time you went to work and they gave you like this 4-foot trophy? Or you got this glass and case football? That's amazing. Or you got that battle axe back there. Ha! I love that thing. So, what would you rather be, an agent or a broker? Oh, I want to be a broker. Now, this is my paycheck from July. So, this is the number of times that I got paid. I got paid 29 times last month. How many other you here got paid 29 times last month? I don't know if you can see this. I know it's kind of small, but this is August 5th. August 5th, August 5th, August 5th. On August 5th, I got paid $558, $44, and $14,137 for a total of $14,700. On the 5th. How many people here would like to be paid $14,700 on Friday? And when's that going to happen at your job? Well, I can tell you that can happen here pretty daggone quick. Right? Got paid $1,600 that day. Oh, look at this. The second. I got paid $2,400 on the 2nd. $2,000 on the 25th. $1,000. I mean, $2,600 down here. So there's the total. Can you read that? What's it say?
49,670.
Now, some of you in the audience are going, "What a pompous jerk." I know you are. I don't show you this to tell you how great I am. I actually show you this to show you how simple this business is. Look at this. This is what the number 1 guy made. Last month. $287,000. He made 10 times more than me. He got paid 290 times last month. Look at all these other guys. It's not a fluke. Look at this. Look at me. I'm number 308.
Wow.
I made $29,000 last month, and there's 300 people that made more money than me. I'm an also-ran. The people in this company don't even know my name. And look at this guy, number 513. He made $20,000. How much money does the person that's the number 513th guy make in your company?
Oh, goodness. Nothing.
Yeah, minimum wage at best.
If that.
So the reason why I tell you that is I am not that good. I told you, I was a blockhead from the Army. When I started in this company, I didn't even know the name. I never heard of it. But the system in this business is so good that if you will work hard, that's what can happen to you. That's amazing. And so what happens is, I'm going to use you as an example. So this is my office, right? I'm going to tell you why I want you to be promoted to RVP. So this is my office, and I get paid on everything that happens in my office. But I help you become a regional vice president. You get paid on everything that happens in your office. But the company Primerica will pay me a bonus, pay you a bonus too, depending on the production of your office. Now knowing that, do I want you to make more money or less money? More. Do I want you to get promoted or not promoted? Yeah. Am I going to help you or not help you? Yes, I'm going to help you. If I can help you make $100,000 next year, would you be happy?
Yes.
Would I be happy?
Yes.
Yes, you know why? Because every time you can create somebody like that, you get paid $50,000 a year on average in passive income. Now, think about your job. Do they want you to make more money or less money?
Less.
Yeah. Do they want you to get promoted or not promoted?
Not promoted.
Are they going to help you or not help you?
Not help.
Isn't that interesting? We're the exact opposite. My goal would be for everybody in this room to become a regional vice president and make $100,000 a year in the next 1 to 2 years. Who would be offended if I helped you make $100,000 in the next 2 years? Good. So, ultimate distribution, right? Making $300,000 a year. This is, and I just showed you that guy made $300,000 in 1 month. Talking about a year. So here's our track record. In the 40 years that we've been here, we've created over 6,000 people that make over $50,000 a year. Now, $50,000 a year is not all the money in the world. But you've got to admit that $50,000 at your job is a different bucket of money than $50,000 you make on your own time in your own business. How many people went home today at 3 o'clock and took a 1-hour nap? From your job. You left your job and went home and took a 1-hour nap. Did you have to ask somebody? Did you have to ask somebody?
No.
That's good. Did you make $29,000 last month?
No.
You sleep better when you make $29,000. I'm just trying to have some fun. Because I can. Okay, look at this though. We created over 3,000 people that make over $100,000 a year. Now, we have created more $100,000 earners than any company in the history of America. This book has all of those people in here. And they look just like you. And they have the same background as you. And there's some goofy looking people in this book, I'm going to tell you that right now. Oh, daggone, that's my picture right there. This guy right here, his name is Lee Painter. Lee Painter, his occupation, he was a scissor sharpener. I didn't need this guy right here. Look, you can go turn to page 226. Lee Painter, scissor sharpener. I didn't even know that was a job. But now he makes $250,000 a year. Nobody's laughing at the scissor sharpener now.
Right.
This company will change your life. We actually have 76 people that make over $1 million a year. It's pretty amazing. Now, here's the deal. We have an unprecedented recruiting opportunity. And you all told me that the people that recruit make more money than the people that don't. And I agree with that. But, hey, Main Street families are being ignored. One of the questions that we wanted you to answer was, is there a need for what we do? Do people need to get out of debt?
Yes.
Do people need to make more money? Do people need to save more money? Do people need to learn how to invest? Oh, hey, sounds like us, right? And so we serve a market that nobody serves. We have the products that people need. We have low upfront costs. I tell you, we have no upfront costs. You can win a $500 bonus in this company in your first week. Isn't that amazing? I thought that was amazing. There's no inventory. If you go back in my storage room, I got no pills, no juice, no body wraps. I ain't got no coffee back there. There ain't no laundry detergents, nothing back there. No inventory. And we got an untapped market, solid company that's debt-free. The business support. This is one of the things that really knocked me out here. We have a home office in Atlanta that has about 2,000 employees, and their sole mission in life is to get us the best products and make sure that the sales force, which is us, gets paid the most amount of money. I've only been with the company for 5 years, but they've increased my income. I'm like, the contract that I have, when I started in the company, it was 95%. Now it's 130.
Wow.
That's a huge jump. Now, the other thing you have is you have someone at the local level who's already been successful that will hold your hand through the process. And that's me. The guy that's my coach and mentor, his name's Dean Francis. He makes $70,000 a month. And I talk to him every day. He's a multi-millionaire. When's the last time you talked to a multi-millionaire every day and he's coaching you? This company, it happens on a regular basis. It's amazing. And then you have unlimited income potential. I think I showed you that. So here's the thing. You're in control as I wrap this up for you. Number one, who here would like to see the next 5 years of your life look exactly like the last 5?
No.
Awesome. Well, you're on track. You should keep doing it. Then anybody else that wants to be different, if you want to wake up in August of 2021 and not look the exact same that it is today, then you got to make a change. You got to do something different. And so what I'm recommending is, if you don't have a better option, come work with us on a part-time basis. Keep whatever you're doing. If you're going to school, go to school. If you got a job, keep it. Come to work with us part-time. Let us prove to you that this business works. Here's the opportunity. Number one, you're going to get an incredible financial education. We're going to teach you so much about how money works that if you just stay here for 90 days, you will be fluent financially, that your family will be set for life with the knowledge that you have. Number two, you're going to feel really good about helping some people. And lastly, you'll make $1,000 to $2,000 in those 90 days. You could make more, but we could help you make $1,000 to $2,000. If that was the worst case, doesn't it make sense to just try? I mean, I got to be honest with you. When I was sitting in the meeting with you were in, when the guy Dean was telling me all this stuff, I was like, man, I don't even know if any of the crap that this man is saying is true. But if just half of it's true, I got to at least throw my hat in the ring. Now, some of you are saying, you know what? Sounds good, but I just need more information. Great. Get back with the person that invited you down here. If you got questions, come and see me or Shawn. We'll answer them. And then we'll get you started so you can start making money. Some of you are here and you're going, man, I need to make money yesterday. Great. We can actually get you set up today to start studying for your licenses right now. But I want to leave you with this. You know, some of you are sitting here going, man, this sounds too, right? It's got to be a scam. I never heard of this company. It's got to be a scam. Well, all I can tell you is we're publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange. We got an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Forbes said we're in the top 50 of the most trustworthy financial services companies. We've been around for 40 years. If you still think we're a scam, all I can tell you is I'm still going to get paid. You might think we're too good to be true. Well, I got to dispel some of that for you. Anybody here ever known anybody that signed up for the gym and they were like, hey, I signed up for the gym, but I didn't lose no weight? The gym don't work. Well, the gym doesn't work because you didn't go to work. The same thing with this company. I told you a lot of good things about this company, but if you don't have a strong work ethic and you don't have any mental toughness, you're not going to make any money here. So it's not too good to be true. You got to work hard. But I will tell you, they will pay you what you're worth. But if you still think it's too good to be true, you just need to know, I'm still going to get paid. Now, you can join me, and we'll both get paid. I can daggone guarantee that. You do what I tell you to do, you'll make money here. But if you don't join me, you just can walk out that door knowing that Dan Roos is still going to get paid. So, hey, we're here for you. And those two things I mentioned about the mental toughness and work hard, if you don't have a strong work ethic, I recommend you don't even try, because this business is too hard to do. Now, the second thing is the mental toughness part, is if you talk to 10 people about this business, 6 of them are going to tell you no. No, I don't want it, Karen. No, I've changed my mind. No, I don't want it. No, thank you. If you are not mentally tough enough to handle that type of rejection, you ain't going to make it. But if you can handle it, the 4 people that tell you yes, you will make a fortune. We've got people that have joined our company at 18 years old, and by the time they're 22, they're making $200,000 and $300,000 a year. We've got people that join when they're 60. And by the time they're 65, they're making $200,000 or $300,000 a year. So it doesn't matter where you are in your life. It matters what you want. Do you have some goals and dreams that fire you up and you're willing to work for? If you do, there's probably a place for you here. Because all we do is help people. The only way I get paid is if we help somebody. And I like it that way, because I like serving others. And so if you do too, there might be a spot for you here. I want to thank you for your time and your attention. We actually, man, we're right on time. That's nice. By the way, what we're going to do is we've got some more drinks and cookies and things like that over there. We're going to play some music and hang out. If you got questions, I'll be up here in the front. You can get with Shawn or the person that invited you down here, but we're very, very thankful that you came, and we hope you enjoyed the information. Thank you.